Okay, this is just a quick little demo of a little bit of Max code that I've been playing around with for the last day or so. One of my students in my Max class was wondering about the possibility of using the Bach library and playing around with it, and saw the Dada library as well, and so I figured I would have a little fun with that since I've already done stuff with Bach. So I created this little exploratory instrument, and here's what it does. You take a MIDI file. I'm just going to use the Bach invention number 1 in C, and it loads it up and displays it. Right now it's not going to do anything because I have to actually load up a plugin. I'm going to use the Arturia Pigments, and I don't really care what is loaded in there. It's just kind of the default sound. We can play it. Take the volume down just a tad, otherwise it tends to be loud. Okay, great. So I've created a MIDI player. Not too fun. Now, here's the fun part. So up here, I'm using the data.cartesian object. It's this little grid here, and if I select one of these points, what it's doing is it's playing each of the measures, and it's split those up into a number of beats per measure defined by the time signature that the Bach score object gets and reads. So naturally, I couldn't leave it at that and decided, you know what, I'm going to map it out to an MPC controller. In this case, I'm using the Sensel Morph, and it's set to just use the octave up and down buttons to jump up by 4 pads every time I play it, which means that I've turned this effectively into a MIDI remapper on a bars and beats level. So I can start playing. And I can remap it. I can loop. I can change the tempo. 60 might be a little fast, but it's actually a little bit faster than that. Let's try, how about 120? And I can have fun, and I can take this to pretty extreme lengths too. I've got that set so that it will go all the way down to 10 BPM. Maybe. And all the way up to 400. So you can create some pretty amazing variations on this. Up here you have the X offset and the Y offset, which are mapped out for the Morph or for other MPC controllers. And then down here it shows the actual Cartesian coordinates that you're playing. Another cool factor is that in addition to controlling what they call the turtle, that little green outline around the notes, you can also use your mouse. And that will play. And if you set it to loop, you can get some really interesting stuff. So just a fun thing to play around with. That's currently the first version. I intend to go a little bit further with this and probably have it so that it will not just output this into a Bach.score, but that it will actually save everything sequentially into a Bach.score that can then be exported for MIDI or whatever other purposes you might have with it.